This one silent MacBook update is about to change everything. And it's not what you think. So like and subscribe before this video ends. You will see why. Now, Apple's been making some wild moves recently. From a new green-colored iPhone 14 to an insane VR headset that costs $3,500. But they saved their biggest surprise for last. And no, it has nothing to do with the iPhone 15 or the next generation of AirPods. You see, every year at WWDC, Apple showcases the latest updates to its various software platforms. This includes iOS, iPadOS, macOS, and even watchOS. But there's always one more thing. Last year, it was the new M2 chipset. This year, it's something else entirely. Apple just announced a brand new version of macOS called Sonoma. And at first glance, it looks pretty much identical to the previous version, Ventura. However, there are some significant changes under the hood that you need to know about. Changes that will impact every single Mac owner out there. The first one is actually pretty cool. It's a feature called Advanced Data Protection. And basically what it does is it encrypts your data, so even if there's a data breach, your information will be secure. You might be thinking, cool, but how does this benefit me? Well, let me explain. You see, nowadays we use our devices to store literally everything from passwords, credit card numbers, and even our most private messages. And if any of that information were to get into the wrong hands, it could spell disaster. With advanced data protection turned on, however, hackers would have a much harder time accessing your personal information, even if they managed to get their hands on your device. Another great feature of Sonoma is the new lock screen. It's just like on the iPhone, you can now customize the clock, color and clock, and add widgets to get quick access to information like the weather, calendar events, and battery life. It's a small but nice touch that makes the Mac feel a little bit more like the iPhone, which is definitely a good thing. But what about performance? After all, that's what really matters, right? Well, Apple claims that Sonoma runs up to 20% faster than Ventura, and that's thanks to the new R1 chip. Now don't get me wrong, the M1 and M2 chips are still incredibly powerful. In fact, the M1 Pro is still the best chip on the market. But the M2 Pro and M2 Max are even faster. They support up to 8,000 video recording and can handle even the most demanding workloads with ease. Another major change in Sonoma is the redesigned App Store. It now features a more prominent search bar, improved browsing categories, and a more detailed view of each app's description and reviews. Plus, developers will be able to add their own in-app purchases to the App Store, which means you won't have to go through the hassle of downloading third-party apps anymore. Just keep in mind that this feature won't be available until later this year. Oh, and by the way, the App Store is also coming to the desktop. Yes, that's right. You'll soon be able to download iOS and iPadOS apps directly from your Mac. It's not exactly clear how this will work considering the lack of touch functionality, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But what about the Mac Mini? Well, unfortunately, it's not getting the same love as the MacBook Air. See, the Mac Mini is still stuck with the M1 chip, while the rest of the lineup has been updated to the M2. This means that if you buy a Mac Mini today, you're essentially getting a 2-year-old chip. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, since the M1 is still a very capable chip. But it does make me wonder how much longer Apple plans on supporting this product line. And those are just some of the new features and changes we can expect from Sonoma. Of course, there are bound to be a few surprises here and there, but overall, this is shaping up to be one of the biggest updates to macOS in years. And when it's released later this fall, I think you're really going to like it. Now, even though the summer's almost over, Apple's still got some big plans for the rest of the year. And if you want to know what they are, just click this video on the screen. Now, until next time, I'm your host. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.